Dr. Zeltar's xenobiology class at the Galactic University had seen many unusual demonstrations, but today's lesson promised to be particularly memorable. The Valkyrian professor had arranged for a live specimen of one of the galaxy's most feared predators, a shade hunter from the void reaches, to be brought to the lecture hall for educational purposes. The creature arrived in a reinforced containment unit, its obsidian carapace gleaming under the artificial lights. Standing nearly 3 meters tall with razor-sharp mandibles and eyes that seemed to absorb light itself, the Shade Hunter was the apex predator of its homeworld. Even through the energy barriers, the assembled students representing dozens of species from across the galaxy instinctively pressed back in their seats. "Observe the perfect killing machine," Dr. Zeltar announced, his forearms gesturing dramatically at the contained beast. The Shade Hunter has evolved over millions of years to be the ultimate predator. Its reflexes are faster than any known species, its natural armor can deflect plasma bolts, and its hunting instincts are unmatched throughout the galaxy. The students murmured in agreement, their various breathing apparatus and vocal modifications creating a symphony of nervous sounds. All except one, Marcus Chun, the only human in the advanced xenobiology program, sat calmly in the front row, studying the creature with curious rather than fearful eyes. His relaxed posture stood in stark contrast to the tense forms of his classmates. "Now," Dr. Zeltar continued, "who can tell me why this creature has never been successfully domesticated or even contained for extended periods by any civilization?" A Zephyrian student, her crystalline form shimmering with anxiety, raised a delicate appendage. "Because it's too aggressive, Professor. Too unpredictable. It attacks anything that moves. Precisely." The professor's eyes swiveled approvingly. The Shade Hunter knows only one response to any stimulus attack. It has no capacity for reasoning, no ability to form bonds. No, actually, that's not quite right. The quiet voice cut through the lecture hall like a blade. Every head turned toward Marcus, who had raised his hand with the casual ease of someone asking about the weather. Dr. Zeltar's main eyes fixed on the human. "I beg your pardon, Mr. Chun." Marcus stood up, his movement slow and deliberate. "With respect, Professor, I think you're misunderstanding the Shade Hunter's behavior. It's not mindlessly aggressive. It's scared." A ripple of shocked silence swept through the classroom. Several students made what sounded like gasps in their respective atmospheres. "Scared?" Dr. Zeltar's voice carried a note of incredulous amusement. "Mr. Chun, this creature has dismantled entire military units. It shows no fear response whatsoever." "That's because everyone approaches it like a monster," Marcus replied, taking a step closer to the containment unit. "Look at its posture, the way it's pressed against the back wall. Those aren't attack positions. That's a cornered animal trying to make itself look bigger than it is." The human moved closer to the energy barrier, and the Shade Hunter's massive head tracked his movement. But instead of the aggressive display everyone expected, the creature's stance seemed to shift subtly. "Mr. Chun, step away from the containment unit immediately," Dr. Zeltar commanded, his voice sharp with alarm, but Marcus was already kneeling beside the barrier, his movement slow and non-threatening. He began to speak, not to the class, but to the creature itself. "Hey there, big guy," he said softly. "I know this is scary. All these lights, all these people staring at you. You just want to go home, don't you?" The Shade Hunter's massive head tilted slightly, its void black eyes focusing intently on the human. The aggressive chittering that had been emanating from its throat began to quiet. What is he doing?" whispered Vrek, a Garonian student whose usually bold demeanor had evaporated. Marcus slowly extended his hand toward the energy barrier, palm up and open. "On my world, we learned something important about predators a long time ago. The most dangerous ones are usually the most scared. They attack because they think everything else is trying to hurt them." The classroom held its collective breath as the Shade Hunter slowly approached the barrier. Its movements, which had seemed so menacing moments before, now appeared almost cautious. Impossible, Dr. Zeltar breathed. The neural scans show it has minimal cognitive function. Maybe your scans are looking for the wrong kind of intelligence, Marcus replied, never taking his eyes off the creature. Just because something doesn't. Think like us doesn't mean it can't think. The Shade Hunter pressed one massive claw against the energy barrier, directly opposite Marcus's outstretched hand. The creature's threatening posture had completely disappeared, replaced by what could only be described as curiosity. My species spent thousands of years learning to understand predators, Marcus continued, his voice carrying to every corner of the silent lecture hall. We learned that the key isn't to dominate them or fear them, it's to respect them. To recognize that they're just trying to survive, same as everyone else. A soft, almost musical sound began to emanate from the Shade Hunter, nothing like the aggressive chittering from before. Several students jumped in surprise. It's singing? Asked Dr. Zeltar, his scientific curiosity overriding his shock. Probably, Marcus nodded. Lots of predators on Earth make sounds when they're content. Cats purr, wolves howl, even some of our scariest hunters have their gentle moments. The human slowly stood, his hand still positioned opposite the creature's. Claw, the thing is, Professor, humans are predators too. We have forward-facing eyes, we hunt in packs, we're persistent predators who can chase our prey for days. But we also learned something that maybe other species haven't figured out yet. Which is? Dr. Zeltar asked, his voice barely above a whisper. Marcus turned to face the class, and for the first time, several students noticed something they'd overlooked before. The human's eyes were indeed forward-facing, like a predator's, his canine. Teeth were slightly pointed. His calm demeanor in the face of danger suddenly took on a different meaning. We learned that the best way to deal with a predator, Marcus said with a gentle smile, is to remember that sometimes they just need a friend. Behind him, the Shade Hunter continued its soft, musical humming, one massive claw still pressed. Against the barrier where the human's hand had been, the lecture hall remained in stunned silence as every alien present realized they had just witnessed something unprecedented, and that perhaps they had been underestimating humans all along.